We talked about petition, and in this segment we're going to discuss thanksgiving. We're going to read Philippians chapter 4 verse 6. I always encourage you to have a Bible nearby, a notebook and a pen. Take notes, write down the scriptures. Be like the Bereans in Acts chapter 17 verse 11, where they went back and searched those scriptures to see whether those things were so. And remember 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 15, to study to show yourself approved unto God, a workman needed not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Remember Romans 10:17, so then faith come by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. Philippians chapter 4 verse 6, I'm reading from the New King James. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. Thanksgiving. The importance and spiritual benefits of thanksgiving in our prayer life cannot be overemphasized. The Bible tells us God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. James chapter 4 verse 6. But the question is, how do you become humble? It is done by being thankful. A good rule is to be careful for nothing. Philippians 4:6. Be prayerful in all things. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 18. It was the sin of thanklessness that caused the ancient world to plunge into the depth of sin. Romans chapter 1 verse 21. In the Old Testament, a group of priests were appointed to do nothing else but praise and thank the Lord. 2 Chronicles 31:2. There are two main things we ought to thank God for. First, we ought to thank him for his work in creation. David reminds us concerning this area of thanksgiving in Psalm 100. Later, John the Apostle tells us we will thank God for his work in creation throughout all eternity. Note the words of this song of praise. You are worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for you created all things, and by your will they exist and were created. Revelation 4:11. And finally, we ought to thank him for his work in redemption. John also informs us that our second song in heaven will feature thanksgiving for God's work in redemption. And they sang a new song singing, you are worthy to take the scroll and to open its seals, for you were slain and have redeemed us to God by your blood. Revelation chapter 5 verse 9. This concludes this segment. Go back, look over your notes, read those scriptures again until they become part of your daily life. We will continue in the next segment.